Hello everyone, it is Jayden and welcome to The Alpha, the show where we talk about the hottest topics in pop culture and sports. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button on the video, and if you enjoy my commentary and myself truly as always, be sure to tap that subscribe button and to hit that notification bell to get notified when all my videos go live. I love you guys so much. Peace, love, and positivity always, y'all. See ya. Something that happened in the movie industry to a film that is deemed huge, has a lot at stake for the MCU, and it got delayed. Not shockingly, though you may think. Yes, we are talking about the two upcoming Avengers films by the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Avengers Doomsday was delayed from May 1st, 2026 to December 18th, 2026. And Secret Wars was delayed from May 1st, 2027 to December 17th, 2026. Both films are moving from the summer May window, which historically has been the Avengers release schedule for the past four films. They were all released in May. So they're shying away from the traditional thing that they have done in the past, and they are going to transition into the winter window, which a lot of people in the movie industry has deemed a prime time to release a film. Because if you guys were not aware, a film that was not associated with the Avengers, Spider-Man No Way Home, released in December of 2021, and they made over $1 billion. So I got two questions of why, or possibly, and again, these are my speculations. I don't know how true this is. The reason why that Marvel moved these windows. Number one, as I just stated, to potentially make more money. Given what has happened this year already with the Thunderbolts and with Captain America Brave New World, one may argue and one may surmise that the two films didn't make a lot of money. Two of them are relatively flops. There's an article that came out earlier this week that Thunderbolts is not even possibly going to cross $400 million. When early suggestions and early trackings and those who worked in Marvel really were encouraged and were thinking that it was going to cross the 400 million mark, and that didn't seem to be the case. As I am talking with you guys right now, I cannot remember exactly the final earnings for Captain America Brave New World, but I really don't even think it made $400 either. So you have two flops on your radar. The next film they have coming up is the Fantastic Four First Steps. And given the historical outlook of the box office for Fantastic Four films, historically, it has not been great. They haven't came out yet with projections of what their box office numbers and what they're looking for making, what they think Fantastic Four First Steps is going to make. I don't see a scenario, as I've stated before, it's going to make more than $600 million. If they even get $600 million, I think that's a win. I don't even know right now off the top of my head what the budget is. But the last movie that they released in December to date, if I'm correct, was Spider-Man No Way Home. It was a film with nostalgia, coming off of having characters introducing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, joining Tom Holland's Spider-Man into a film with characters like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin, Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus, and you had the characters Jamie Foxx, Electro, and so on and so forth. So a lot of big characters in one movie that catapulted the film in making over $1 billion. You can make the same argument for Avengers Doomsday. You got a star heavy cast. Chris Hemsworth is coming back to play Thor. Robert Downey Jr. is playing Doctor Doom. Sam Wilson's coming back to play Captain America. There's rumors that Chris Evans is going to be back in the film. And there's a whole lot of other rumors that we are going to get to later on in the podcast. So it may be a smart marketing ploy for Marvel to say, hey, we haven't had success lately with releasing our movies during the middle of the year. Ant-Man and the Wasp came out in February. Thor Love and Thunder, I think it might have came out in the summer. A lot of films just came out in the summer and early in the winter. Well, later in the winter, the latter parts of winter in like February. Eternals came out in November, if I'm not mistaken. That didn't make a lot of money, obviously, because it's the Eternals. But the last project that you released that had star-heavy characters in a film was Spider-Man, and you made over $1 billion. A lot of films lately that has released during the holidays has made a good significant amount of money. One may think that this is a potential to make more money. But I'm leaning heavily towards this option. They need more time to make the film. As I can remember, they just started filming this movie a month and not even a month. They're not even 3 to 4 weeks into producing the movie and filming the movie. So you're meaning to tell me it's May, and they were going to have the movie done, shot, and filmed on top of a crap ton of VFX work that they had to do. I imagine for this film. Specifically, I saw in the still with Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr., he had dots on his eyes. They're going to CGI the mask. So I know they got a lot of heavy VFX work to do. And you were meaning to tell me you were going to have all of that done in time next year? I always said there's no way. Even when they had the reveal, I was sitting here like, man, they're just now revealing it. They're just now saying that it's into production. Now I know they've announced the project for a good year now. I imagine they've had the script done. They had an idea what they're going to do. They're ready to shoot. I get it. But still, one can argue there was no way that this film was going to be ready next May. Something that Bob Iger has been talking about, and we talked about it before. Bob Iger has been shooting for quality over quantity. The more time you get, the more quality you're going to produce. Because we all got to be honest with ourselves. Marvel has not released a well-polished movie, VFX-wise and CGI-wise, in a minute. You may argue that the last film they probably did that looked very well made was Spider-Man No Way Home. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Eternals was pretty good as well. So it's been 2 or 3 years since Marvel has released a good, nice-looking film. By the time Doomsday comes out, it's going to be 2026. So that gives you roughly 4 years since Marvel produced a well-made looking movie. That's why I'm leaning towards this portion of the argument, that they need more time. Given what I just explained, to the fact that they were going to have all of this done with all these characters in this film, all this VFX work that is going to have to be done. And probably they're probably exploring different, what they've wrote on script, they probably don't like so far, and they probably want to switch some things up. And that's going to take more time as well. Given that, what Bob Iger has been advocating for, and him and Kevin Feige have been on one accord, and wanting to push the quality over the quantity, that was the ultimate reason why both films were delayed. So I was not shocked by this. I was waiting for it to happen. I was sitting here, I was one of those who was always saying, I don't understand and I don't know how they're going to have this film ready to go in less than a year. And I know a lot of content creators have been saying that for a good while now. I'm not shocked to hear this. I think it's a great idea. Because I've said this, A lot is riding on this film. If this Avengers movie is not good, it could be the death of the MCU. I just talked about it in the last podcast. Many can argue, and I did make this argument as well. Fantastic Four has a lot riding on it as well. These upcoming projects for Marvel, specifically Fantastic Four and Doomsday, has the stake of the MCU in his hands. They have to deliver. I'm going to be interested to see what the numbers are looking like projectingly for the Fantastic Four. But still, I think it's a good idea. Pushing the movies back, making sure it is at the best possible quality made movie in all facets. I want the VFX work and the CGI to be fantastic. I want the acting to be fantastic. I want the narrative and the story to be fantastic. I want everything to flow. And I want it to be great filmed action. I want it to be entertaining. I want it to have the same variables that past MCU projects held, such as all the other Avengers films, such as Endgame, Infinity War, and the first Avengers movie. A lot of people crap on Age of Ultron, but I still relatively had a great time with it. Given what we've had lately in the state of Marvel, shoot, we would be clamoring to have a Age of Ultron type movie. One can argue, but that is my interpretation of that. It was a great idea. It was the right idea. I know a lot of people have been giving crap for the Russo brothers having their 2 cents in this project and directing it. I think it was the right idea. Because if the Russo brothers wasn't part of this project, I don't think they would have ever brought Robert Downey Jr. on. Or let's flip-flop that. Robert Downey Jr. wouldn't have wanted to come back. But that is all I have to say about that. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What was your reasoning that you thought that Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars were delayed? Do you think it was because they wanted to make more money? Or was it because they needed more time to make the film? I already argued, and I think they might be a mixture of both, but I'm leaning towards the side that they needed more time to make the film. Because it is an Avengers movie, and historically they've come out in May, and they made a lot of money. I want to know all of your comments down below.